Thursday. Today I will be belting out what I've been researching recently, which is having a look at the mitochondria and the light emitting ability of the mitochondria to shift light to mass. And that sounds a bit technical, but I'll be explaining it to you. So what and how do we achieve our magnificence? What happens alchemically within people when they come for a HIELO compass quantum health assessment? We get a benchmark and we identify physical, neurological, emotional, and spiritual health risks, blockages. We address these with the quantum field, which contains light, which is light. And the 365 Healthy by Choice nutrients, my signature products, which all emit light. They're all bioluminescent, if you like. And when I put this together and leave it to the body, the mind, the emotions, the spirit, in the holistic quantum field, people just walk in looking absolutely magnificent. And that is really evidence to me that there's been major shifts. Evidence-based, we measure it as well, and obviously it's been researched as well. That's true evidence-based medicine. So what I'm saying is that I've achieved this. I've seen it in the people. They come in absolutely radiant. And it's taken my 365 Healthy by Choice range of nutrients to the next level. I've known it always. One of the first things that ever occurred to me was I had a look at microbiome reset, the effect of microorganisms down a microscope on a farm. And a farmer showed me. And I couldn't believe what I saw when I looked down the microscope. There was this galaxy, this gazillion number of lights that were just moving underneath the microscope, underneath the slide in front of me. And that's what I looked at. And I thought to myself, oh, these things are emitting light. You know, they're light emitters. I didn't want to go as far as photon emitters because that would be sunlight, but they were definitely emitting light. And it's really, really excited me. And I've taken my microbiome reset, put it under my own microscope, and I've shown it on several of my YouTube video clips, which you're welcome to go and have a look at on my YouTube channel. Put in the search bar at the top. And when I see what the microbiome reset does to the gut and the mind, literally in front of me, if you just took that, it's going to illuminate the gut lining, and those organisms will reach the brain, and we start getting an illumination there because we suddenly get clarity of thought. So the gut heals, and the brain heals all through the work of the microbes. So these microbes and their intelligence is becoming increasingly intriguing to me and important, and the intelligence of the microbes. So that was really my first experience of light-emitting nutrients, organisms, if you like. The second one was the Almost Gold Elixir. And this we make alchemically, and the transformation is incredible. And what I see in people, the rejuvenation is equally on another level. So here I can see the light luminescence on the surface of the Almost Gold, which is levitational. It rises up. So here's an energetic photoluminescence, if you like. And again, you just have to apply the Almost Gold balm to your skin, and you know you're emitting. You know you've raised your radiation, your light emitting field. It's beyond infrared. So there again, it was, in front of me, brought to me, incidentally, you get a peacock colors of the rainbow on the top of the almost gold when you make it. So when you're consuming these light-emitting, high-frequency nutrients into your body, which is a light body anyway, you are starting to potentiate that effect. And the effect is happening in the mitochondria, because they're the ones that are shifting light into mass. And the lower the light bulb in the mitochondria, the lower your physical health, mental, emotional, spiritual health. The higher the light emitting capacity, the brighter you are. Simple as that. The globe burns brighter. So yes, we do know from science that it's about the minerals in the beaker, and we're going to put the light on. That's on a physical level. We're talking way beyond that. We're talking existential field. We're talking the quantum universal field, the morphogenic field. What's going on there? What even made us? So this is now, as I said, getting really, really deep into the magnificence that I see when people walk in. Today, a lady walked in. She recently had 12% kidney function, literally. And I've worked with her, and she's got uncharacteristic characteristics coming through. So we've had to adjust and work, and I've learned so many things as well. And that's not the only one. When I see the luminescence that oxygen brings in as a primary nutrient that we breathe in, again, I see the effect of the mitochondria and their light emitting effect on the body increasing, and people just stepping into their own luminescence, if you like. They're literally shining, beaming. So this bioluminescence has really intrigued me, and more than that, the healing from light. And it does all boil down to that. It boils down to light. And I really am grateful that, I can work with that and heal people, but at the same time provide nutrients that are at this very, very high level. And I've talked about this before. The Armstrong readings and the frequency of the products and the Bova scale. So if we're focusing on medicinal mushrooms, bee products, pollen, propolis, royal jelly, the algae, the blue-green, the spirulina, the chlorellas, we're talking about actually conductors of electricity. So I'm researching this and I'm piecing it together, and it's formulating in real time. The algae in particular contain DHA. And DHA is going to convert to direct current. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Fundamental on another level. And direct current is what we need. Whether it's your gut intestinal lining that needs repairing, whether it's your brain that needs repairing, your heart, your lungs, your gut, your liver, your kidney, your skin, your circulation. We need light. We need the luminescence within us to achieve that level of magnificence, if you like. And this is what's going to do this healing going forward. You can literally disregard basic stuff in bottles because it's really on a mundane level, if I can put it like that. I mean, I was asked in one of the health pharmacy stores today, so what's up? What am I busy with? How's this? How's that? And I just, I realized that, the mundane aspect of buying a bottle to fix yourself, buying the latest and the most patented and the most special and the most whatever. It's just, you're just really wasting time and your money. And let's just talk a little bit about UV light and infrared. So UV light we warned against, and we have to be careful of it, but we need some. We don't need none. We need some. And knowing that there's a dangerous aspect of it, we still need it. We need to step out into the full spectrum of light, preordained, that reaches the earth, and take from those wavelengths the light frequencies that we need to heal. And our body will photosynthesize. So photosynthesis is the key thing here. Captured sunlight, captured photons, converted into energy, glucose, oxygen. And when we consider the effect of these photons on plants, on ourselves, on the blood system, we know that, for example, medicinal mushroom contains ergosterol. When you consume the medicinal mushroom and you step out into the sun, it's going to activate vitamin D and stem cells. Pollen does that too, so does the blue-green algae. But blue-green algae in particular contains the DHA. And this is the most magnificent thing. There's another thing a nutrient that does too, and that's flaxseed oil. I'm coming to that. So we have to work with the UV light in a positive way. Infrared is the one that really does the healing, and that's red light. So we're dealing with the purple and the red, and the interchange and the potentiation of these two colors. If you step outside in the morning, in the dawn and dusk, dawn in particular, you're going to get those infrared light waves penetrating through your eyes, filtering into the glands in the brain. Photoelectric light waves from the sun, photons, the highest form of nutrient that you can get. You don't even need to digest it, it just is. Stepping out, put bare feet onto the grass, the soil, the beach, into a dam, a pond, a lake, you are grounding yourself, and that is electrons. So all of this amounts to electron flow within the battery of our body. So mitochondria will convert the light energy into mass, but into direct current, which is electrons. That is our life force. That is our currency. So stepping out onto the earth is going to do that too. Breathing, I've just talked about oxygen. Oxygenation binds with electrons in the cell to form energy. ATP, GTP, CTP, TTP. Talked about that. The replica RNA DNA contains the 5 major protein building blocks of the entire body. And these proteins are in the mitochondrial DNA. What I'm seeing is that, transgressing slightly, but we are talking about emotions, the transgenerational patterns are transmitted through the mitochondria, the mitochondrial DNA from the mother. So if we're focusing on this and the role of the mitochondria in producing our energy, we need these very high frequency nutrients, what I've mentioned to you, in order to produce direct current. We're not talking about alternating current. That's the electricity. That's what keeps us awake at night when we should be sleeping. So we're talking about this powerful direct current that we want to bring into us. We know we emit infrared. And what I'm saying is your level of magnificence is your level of it, your ability to emit light. Remember, the mitochondria is a bacteria. It's a eukaryote, a single-celled bacteria that decided long ago what it was going to do. It's inside us, within us. So you have the intelligence of a very, 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 very ancient bacteria that's evolved in time, basically directing our energy, our epigenetics, our emotions. Light heals emotions. Along with the holistic ancestral emotional release that we do. This is the fascination. This is the magnificence that I'm seeing. The luminescence, the energy field. I can measure that with the quantum NQB device. I can actually give it a value. A physics scientific based value. Looking at the statistics of the voltage, the amperage, the resistance, the hydration, the oxygenation, and the electrons and photons. Imagine. This NQB device is coming back from 100 years into the future to now. That's what it does for us, operating at 25 megahertz. Nothing remotely close to it on the planet. So here we are matching holistic wisdom with quantum physics and measuring it. Imagine. And visibly seeing it. Research-based, evidence-based medicine. I think you've probably all witnessed and seen photographs, Kirlian photography. So Kirlian photography will measure the infrared field of raw food versus cooked food. And I think you've all seen the cauliflower and the bean and the blue-green algae under the Kirlian photography with the radiance, the magnificence. So we know that these foods in their own right, because of photosynthesis, emit energy, light energy. It's called the Photo-Multiplier Effect. The Photo-Multiplier Effect. The microbes, the almost gold, the oxygen, the earth, the sunlight, spring water, algae, pollens, medicinal mushrooms, organic sprouts, organic fruits, nuts, have it. So I'm going to let you draw your own conclusions from what I'm presenting today. And these DHA foods, in particular the spirulina, very, very important for our eyes, our skin, our gut, and even the lungs. I've been forgetting DMSO, dimethyl salt oxide, Photo-Multiplier Effect, levitational. The almost is levitational. Oxygen is also levitational if you get your level to 95%. Absolutely. You feel like you're walking on the clouds. Come out of a yoga or a shiatsu, a qigong class, and you also feel like you're walking on the clouds. That's what oxygen does. So you know all this. So there's also many, I've also just talked and posted on the effect of DMSO in healing the gut and the mind, the brain. So how are we clearing all of this? This is exactly how we're doing it. And raising our energy all the time so that we're living on the highest level we can at that particular time. Because when you're there, viruses, bacteria, funguses can't exist. Emotions such as hatred, fear, sadness, anger. Very difficult to exist at that level. So here again, the light transmutes emotions. That's what I want to share with you. I've put together a range of products, a 365 Healthy by Choice range, which are basically photon multipliers, working with nature, the sun, the earth, oxygen, water, to heal and to bring about a sense of well-being that you never thought possible. And in that way, clearing the gut, clearing the mind, removing pain, removing inflammation, congestion, stagnation in the body, etc., becomes a mundane subject. And we need to walk our talk and live it. People notice it. They can't quite see it. There's not quite words for it, but they notice. Not that that's our idea. You're noticing it. And others will also pick up. They pick up on the radiation. So another thing I've talked about many times before is the space that we live in. How organic, how scalar wave orientated is your home, your bedroom, your lounge. So those of you who know me, you've been to the center in Bryanston, know that there's a huge octagon room with the dome. And the reason for that is an emission of a scalar wave measured by a camera, any camera with infrared. So if you take a picture of a person before they walked into the octagon room and afterwards, the infrared radiance has expanded. Just like somebody who stands goes and stands barefoot on the earth, the infrared band expands, and the sunlight, standing in the sunlight. That's what happens. So you can also have a photo-multiplier effect by bringing in scalar wave structures like octagon domes or hexagon domes or round domed houses, round houses. There was a reason that our ancestors built like that. And anyway, we needed to deviate in order to come back on a higher level. So that's fine as well. But you'll find that you resonate better and your whole body is in more dynamic equilibrium when you're standing in a domed room without four walls. The four walls are basically like an AC current, alternating current. They destroy energy. They bring in entropy. They don't build neg entropy, life, living. So we've got to get away from the disruptors. The disruptors, the things that are going to lower our frequencies and invite unnecessary things, put it that way. So we got to think about what I've said today. These are called photoelectric blockers. I'm going to move away from those because these things zap the melatonin, the dopamine. They reduce our instinct. They reduce our power and our clarity of mind. They kill microbes. You kill the microbes, you kill the brain's ability to think. So it's all absolutely tying up. And we want a high level of light emitted from the mitochondria, shifting that to a high level of mass so we can do what we came to do here. And I'll leave that to you. And that, when you think about it, has led to the world we're living in, which is dumbed down, full of blue light. I've got my blue light glasses here. Should really be wearing them. And I do. To save my eyes, to save the pituitary gland, the pineal gland, the hypothalamus, my whole body, my genetics. I take the replica RNA, DNA, 5 major building block proteins. It's exactly what's important for this, because this is where we need to start operating with the proteins in the mitochondria. The almost gold, the microbiome reset with over 80 live strains that will shift into sub-strains according to your microbiome. The cell oxygen, the DMSO, the gut cleansers, the brain fuels. These are all on the 365 Choice website. And it's a super sensory overload there because you can get caught there for many hours reading and finding out and getting the gist of my holistic well-being philosophy, based in the existential field. parasites. I just said they don't exist on this high levels. So what we want to do is whatever we can is to stimulate the photoelectric ability of the mitochondria. If you've got any questions, let me know. You can put it in the chat. And I will be recording this as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this. It's just the beginning of our focusing on photoelectricity, going beyond what we know, and awakening into a deeper sense of consciousness and nutrients and food, and moving from, a mundane existence to that magnificence. And I'm truly honored to be able to have witnessed it, seen it, and be able to be putting this together. And no, there's not going to be another doctorate on this. I've done that. We'll work with this and just expand. Thank you very much. It's always an honor and a privilege to have you here, and we'll see you next week.